Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic. This is episode 15 of season 3. I hope you're doing well. Estoy inspirada, so I'm recording. This is the second session for today. Está lloviendo fuera, so I get into this contemplative mood. Owl and I, of course, say hello. I wanted to record a second episode because I actually pulled a card. A card, I pulled it intentionally for this episode. I asked my guides to reveal a card on which I could base this episode. And the card I pulled from the Sacred Power reading cards, Oracle, which has a beautiful design, like the flower of life. The card I pulled is illusion. What a big topic to talk about. So you see this figure walking in what looks like Escher's staircase, going round and round. And maybe before I delve or I read out the description of the card from the guidebook, I want to try and reflect a bit on what illusion means to me. So what is illusion and what is real? You know, we often talk about reality, but what is reality really? In my own journey, I come to realize that a lot of what I considered reality was actually an illusion, or was me walking in this Escher staircase going round and round. In the more negative times, going around in a loop. Kind of hitting my head on the wall all the time and trying to find the exit and hitting the wall again. What does it mean to be stuck in a labyrinth and going round and round in circles? I find until we're able to take the lesson out of a certain situation, we tend to go round and round and repeat the same situation, encounter similar people, because we're actually manifesting the lesson. The universe is reflecting back what we're projecting so that we become aware of it. Usually it's shadow aspects or lessons we need to learn. Aspects of ourselves that we need to become conscious of. And until we see the reflection for what it is, an illusion, until we come to realize that, we're not able to find our way out. This feeling of lost, being lost. I'd say pretty much all of my life I had this underlying feeling of just feeling lost and not knowing what to base how to navigate life even. And it's crazy how I just remember a good friend of mine in Bangkok when I was like heartbroken, sitting in a taxi, and I was texting my friend. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm completely heartbroken. I've lost my compass." And he messaged me back, "Mel, you are the compass." And I was like, didn't really get it back then. What does it mean you are the compass? But coming to reflect on it now, and based on the previous episode, this homecoming to our inner knowing, our heart space where we can feel safe, our authentic feelings, that is the compass. Our emotions are the compass, something I never understood. Honestly, speak six languages, but I'm just learning the alphabet of emotions. I was emotionally illiterate, i.e., I used to not be able to feel, label, understand, and forget about communicating my emotions. I just didn't know. I didn't have the tools. I was not versed in emotions. And because I was scared of them, what I would do was repress them. And we all know what happens if we repress emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. The energy goes somewhere. And if we repress it, it's basically like shaking a cava, a champagne bottle, and not allowing the cork to go up, not releasing the cork. We're building up a lot of pressure. And that energy eats us up alive. It's not good for our system. So the inner compass uses emotions to guide us. Our inner compass expresses itself via emotions, meaning that every emotion, every feeling is valid. Okay, there's a difference between emotions and feelings, but that's for another episode. But let's just say, let's put for the sake of this episode, feelings and emotions in one box. What we feel is valid, whatever it is. And there was two wonderful people speaking on a podcast yesterday. I think it's Wu Wei Wisdom, where they talked about following the golden thread of your emotion. Tara Brach calls it RAIN, radical acceptance, having the curiosity to accept in the moment what's happening, the emotion, and being curious, inquiring, what is at the core? What is this emotion telling me? If we follow the golden thread of, for example, anger, if we follow it and question it and uncover what lies beneath it, it's usually pain. So our emotions are essential, vital barometers that guide us. And although not all emotions are pleasant, they're valid. And if we develop the capacity to allow them, accept them, and then trace where this emotion comes from, which belief is causing this emotion. Let's say guilt. It's a huge emotion I also struggled with. Just this relentless feeling of guilt. And I started to trace it down. Underneath the guilt was the belief of, I'm not doing it right. And under that was the belief of, I'm not good enough. But I would not have come to the essence of the core root problem had I not investigated and accepted the emotion, which was guilt, the surface emotion. So emotions form part of our inner compass. Only because they allow us to investigate what lies beneath and to uncover beliefs that, again, may be ours or maybe are imposed to us from parents, society, a teacher, whatever. We can then, once we see what's at the core of it, we can choose, do I really want this belief? Is this serving me or not? If not, I'm going to work on releasing it. So that's emotions. Intuition is also our compass. Our true feelings about something is a compass. Our body reacts all the time to situations and people, whether we like it, whether we accept those messages or not. We either contract or we expand. We either open up or pull back. And sometimes those signals, bodily signals, are so subtle and hard to, or easy to discard, especially if you're like me, so used to being up in the head. So again, how do we navigate this so-called reality? Well, one way is to realize that we have the compass, i.e., nobody outside can really tell us which way to go, what to choose. The ultimate authority is in ourselves. So to find your core, to access your core, to trust your core, your inner compass, your intuition, to re-establishing a relationship and connection with your intuition is huge. Then to accept and hold space for all of your emotions, good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant, is another huge aspect. To not escape our emotions, to not deny them or repress them with coping mechanisms, to actually face the emotions, painful or otherwise, is one aspect. And if I'm doing a list now, we have 1, intuition, 2, emotions, and then 3, realizing that we are actually projecting. We are the projectors of our reality. That's a whole nother time, a whole nother aspect, no? That our thoughts influence our feelings, our behaviors, our character, and ultimately our character, our destiny, and our reality, therefore, is huge. So to come to the realization of all of this, I guess makes us realize, wow, if I'm the creator of all of this, means I have the power to change my reality, to find a way out of the loop, to release old patterns of behavior, to step into the unknown, to see or to realize our limiting beliefs, which are keeping us small and which are valid. Our fears are valid often. I'm trying to have a lot of compassion for my fears because, we always talk about, I don't know if it's like killing the fear, but we try to destroy fear. But I think even fears need to be at least considered and looked at and listened to, because there are aspects of ourselves that actually only want to keep us safe, even though they might hold us back sometimes because they keep us in familiar patterns, in familiar labyrinths. But to sit down and listen to them and say, okay, what do you have to say, fear, and then to choose otherwise, because we know what's in our highest good outside of that familiar labyrinth. Yeah, that requires awareness. So yeah, illusion is a big topic. Let's see what the guidebook says about this card, Male. Okay. Illusion. Appearances are not what they seem. You need more information. That alone. Sometimes we react to situations instinctively or just knee-jerk reactions, or we interpret things or people or what they say in a certain way, thinking that it's objective. It's never objective. It's always filtered through our subjectivity and our past traumas and our experiences. So what appears in front of us is not always the way we interpret it. Like, we need more information. Often we need the information of the person we're actually dealing with to see another perspective. It's all just perspectives, no? Okay, illusion. There are no dead ends in a labyrinth. it appears as if you are continuously going around in a circle. Labyrinths are temples that insist on uncovering the truth, bringing enlightenment of spirit and consciousness. I guess we can use what I said earlier in terms of the universe reflecting back to us the same image we project until we see it for what it is and learn the lesson, until we're enlightened. From a distorted reality, one is never truly lost within it. Within the labyrinth, we find our own internal compass to lead us in the right direction, awakening and unifying our spirit within the cosmos. Again, we keep on repeating the same lessons until we understand what the lesson is and can move beyond that. It's a bit like a video game, going to the next level, next lesson. This illusion of time and space represents the distortion of your own reality. The labyrinth is an exercise in your soul's development. Voila. This illumination of self pushes towards individual experience so you can make informed decisions. There we go. Once we become aware of our patterns, we can then choose to act differently, respond differently. That's what free will is, no? But as long as we're enslaved by our own old patterns, there's no free will. We're just reacting all the time. So, although it may feel like your senses are misleading you, deep down you know the outcome as you have already been here before. It makes me think of the Akashic records, or this notion that, in the present moment, everything has already existed. Your past selves and your future selves, everything's accessible in the moment, but it's a bit too mind-blowing. Okay. Well, distractions are everywhere right now. Your soul's compass is asking you to reassess your direction, to uncover your true path. Does this action or decision bring you closer to your life's purpose? That's a good question to ask us all the time, no? Is this bringing me closer to my purpose, to my true happiness, to my authenticity, to my desires, my heart desires, or away from it? The affirmation the guidebook gives us is, I hear deep messages with strength and clarity from my soul. My soul knows the way forward. I trust my inner guidance. Voila, this links back to episode 14, no? Trusting the inner guidance, trusting our emotions. It takes courage, and it takes us understanding our emotions, not medicating them away, not self-medicating them away. Been there. So tempting to escape them. But all that leads to when we escape our emotions is frustration and going around in the labyrinth of illusion until we stand still and say, okay, let me look at this with clear eyes and really see what is being said to me, what I need to learn here. What else is illusion? Illusion is, our fears are usually illusion, no? So as I said, when I sit down with my fear and try and understand where it's coming from and what it's trying to tell me, it wants to keep me safe, but it's not often pushing me towards my growth. So, and when you act despite the fear or with the fear, you say, okay, I see you, but I'm gonna do it anyway, then usually, like with my YouTube channel, it's not that bad, and actually it's enjoyable. But I had slight fear in the beginning where I was like, should I do this? Should I not do this? In the end, you realize it's an illusion. So courage cuts through the illusion of fear. And courage comes from the word cœur in French, which is heart, no? So to act in courage is to act from the heart. Not always easy at all. But I guess if the goal is to reach our inner truth, then we must have the courage to look at our fears and cut through them and act despite of them. and see through the illusion, through our own projections. So let's leave it at this more ambiguous note for this episode, and I hope this makes you reflect also. If you have any comments, I'm always super grateful and happy if you comment and give me some feedback too, and open a dialogue in the comments box. Vale? So with this, I hope we see also see the essence of things, see our own essence beyond the fears and insecurities and mistakes and faux pas, and see through those layers of illusions and really see our essence that is rooted in love, all of us. So let's find that inner compass so that we are able to navigate the labyrinths of our reality, and then instead of just navigating, to create our reality, to see that we are projecting images and desires and fears into the world. So if we realize that we're doing that, we can take back our power and take some responsibility for what we're projecting. ¿Vale? Y con esto les dejo. Owl and I wishing you a great Tuesday afternoon, and I'll see you for the next episode. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I am Magic Mel, and my channel is Mel's Magic. Muchos saludos and take care. Ciao.